Says, how should I handle when someone comments negatively on a social media post or leaves a negative review? Again, great question. It's something, if you're doing business in 2022, there's a possibility, if you're putting yourself out there, if you're regularly posting, if you're doing business with a lot of people, you stand the chance that you're going to get a bad comment or you're going to get a negative review. How do you handle those things? I've always taken the approach that rather than ignore them or try to delete them or something like that, I would hit them head on. I would look at those as an opportunity to show not necessarily the person that left the negative comment, because you might not be able to win them over for whatever reason, but a lot of other people might be looking in at how you answer that comment or how you respond to that negative review. And what you're really doing at that point is you're making a response for all the onlookers, not necessarily the person that left the negative review or left the negative comment, but everybody who may see it afterwards. So I would respond very positively if it's a negative review and say, hey, I'm sorry you had a negative experience with us. We certainly take pride in making sure we satisfy all of our customers. Please reach out to me so we can determine if there's anything we can do to rectify this situation for you. You get the idea. I would respond in a very positive, proactive, not a they're attacking me, so I'm going to attack them back. I would say, I'm sorry you had a negative experience. I'd love to talk to you to where we could figure out what we can do to rectify the situation. That way, everybody that's watching that, not the person you're responding to, is seeing that this company acknowledged the negative comment, acknowledged the negative review, and reached out to the person to see if there was a way they can rectify that. That speaks volumes about your company, and it speaks volumes about how you would treat them if they were to decide to be a customer and something were to go wrong. If he attacks you and leaves a negative review, or attacks you and leaves a snide or negative comment, and you immediately hit back and get very defensive, that sends the wrong message to everybody that's watching, looking on, and they're like, okay, now all I see is two people fighting. It's like that old saying, don't fight with a fool, because onlookers don't know which one is the fool. So when you're arguing with somebody, you're not going to make your case online. In many cases, you're better off to try to diffuse the situation, respond in a positive, productive way, try to take the conversation offline, encourage them, say, I'd love to talk to you offline. Can we set up a time for us to talk on the phone or whatever? Pull it offline so anybody that's watching then can see that you've tried to take a proactive step to resolve the issue and you didn't just hit back in a defensive way. So rule number one is I would never respond defensively. I mean, even if somebody's being really crude, I would never respond. How you respond says more about you than what that person said about you. Think about that. How you respond is going to say more to the person watching about you than what the initial poster said about you. So be careful how you respond. Try not to be defensive. Try to be positive. Try to be productive, and invite them to take the conversation offline. And I think you're going to be able to turn that negative comment or negative review into a positive for everybody else that's looking at it, and you can actually use that to your benefit. I'll just leave you with this. It's never, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, it's never a good strategy to respond negatively and defensively to those things. I don't think you ever win as a business owner. I think you only come out looking worse when you engage in that manner.